Alright, hello and welcome. So, this is another Dragon's Dogma guide. It seemed you guys liked the first one quite a bit, and I appreciate it. So, this guide is for those of you that want to power level a sorcerer to get the stat growth specifically from sorcerer for the highest amount of magic damage possible. From stats, obviously not from gear. So, this is the opening town, Casardis. I am going to be showing the online boss. If you guys don't want to see that, maybe wait until you have gotten to... Wait until you've killed the dragon to maybe watch this if you want to do that. Because this method will require you to have beaten the story and maybe be about level 50. Probably pretty easily do it there, especially if you've been a sorcerer up to that point. So, fair warning that you will be seeing the online, community boss. But, method to do this, sorcerer, you want Holy Affinity, which can buff yourself. You can buff yourself. If you're on controller, you can hit the left stick to target yourself, or if you have no target, it will also target yourself. You can go at this in a party, but it will be worse for the experience for you. I am currently going solo. I'll show my augments at the end here, and we'll just move on over here. So, I am in New Game Plus, which means that my path to the online dragon is significantly easier, because over here in the corner of Casardis, added this nice, convenient special Riftstone. And this will take me directly to the Dragon's arena where you fight him, which is incredibly convenient. So we'll go in here. Also, there's no big spoilers for this area. It's just kind of a cool-looking area, nothing special. So, I'm gonna use... No. I could probably just kill these guys normally, without too much hassle, so... I'll recast Holy Affinity. Murder these 3 pawns. One more. Okay, they're dead. So, the trick here is that the Dragon is weakest to Holy, and you're not really even going to be using any of your other spells, besides just Focus Bolts. And he should be showing up here any moment. And before he gets here, I should show, I am carrying a bunch of Green Warish to heal me if I really need it. Probably won't need more than, maybe 10 of these. I carry extra for safety's sake. But the main thing are silver wheat pastes. So, these can be... The components for this can be bought from the Apothecary in Grand Soren. It is Wizard's Drought, and or it might be Warlock. I'll put the ingredients on screen. And then those can make silver wheat paste, and whenever you eat this, it'll lower your magic defense, but it'll give you a huge boost in attack. And for those of you that have access to Fornival, you can buy Demon's Triops, or however you say that word. That word's right there. The word's right there. For those of you that want to use those are more efficient. I don't have access to Fornival. I may have accidentally killed him, but that's fine. Those are generally better, but also more expensive, I think. So, we'll be kind of abusing silver wheat paste in this. And also I'm going to show the doubled experience from his fight by using the Martyr's Talismans that I have. But yeah. I'll start charging this up again just to refresh it, because I'll usually need to cast Holy Affinity 2 times during this fight. Yeah, generally I find this is the fastest way to level Sorcerer. Down right on top of me, pretty much. Okay, so open this menu. These only stack 4 times, so you're not going to want to use any more than 4 at a time. And you're going to want to use Focused Bolt, which is your hold light attack ability. And you're going to see the amount of damage this kicks out. It's quite a bit. Obviously, your ability will automatically lock on to his hearts, which are his weak points. They glow red, and will gradually be destroyed. I've knocked him down. And as you can see, we are already through 3 bars of health, which is 4 bars of health, which is pretty significant. You just got to make sure that you are keeping track of your holy enchantment, and that you are still getting the magic buff. I wouldn't suggest stopping for the drops, as if you need the drops, then obviously pick them up, but generally they're not worth it to pick up, as they're usually rotted stuff. I still have my buff, as he is an undead dragon, of course. Oh, yep, just ran out. You'll see over on the left side, right here. He's right here. The little symbol that's about to pop up is your enhanced magic. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Symbol is right there. That's your little go-to for knowing that you have the buff. And that will also appear next to your health bar. And it does work on bolts that you have already fired, which is quite nice. Obviously, you want to avoid firing at spots where there are not hearts, which can happen. His head is usually something I go for a little bit later. But obviously, whatever is closest to you is generally what you want to go for in terms of the hearts. And keeping him sunlocked is pretty simple, because these do a lot of damage. That knocked him down. That landed on me pretty good. Didn't kill me. Actually, didn't even hurt me. Also, you can do this without the buffs. It will just take longer, obviously. But it's still quite good both ways, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, I wholly ran out. Gotta cast it one more time. Oh, and... sometimes he'll fly off, which is really annoying. Obviously, knowing his attacks, like this shit, is quite good. This will knock me back. But I'm not really in a lot of danger here. On his last health bar, I'll want to pop the double XP. And as we're getting down to these last few hearts here, this is significantly more difficult, obviously, in terms of hitting the hearts. Down. I think this one's on the other side of his neck. You can run while charging this ability up. And before we kill him, one Martyr's Talisman. And I still have my buff. Nope, one more. Now, where's his last thing? In his chin? Oh, where are you going? Might be in his wing. Last one's always... oh, it's on his tail. The last one can be a pain to find occasionally. And get to occasionally. Come on. Cooperate with me. There we go. Times 2 experience, got about 600k. Got quite a few levels even at this level. And a bonus for doing this farming method. He's dead. Obviously you can pick up these things if you want them. Dragon scales, golden egg. I'll actually take that. Golden eggs are probably one of his better drops. This ambrosial meat is actually not bad if you can keep it for later. Because it will completely restore your stamina for those of you that are melee-focused classes that have more problems with stamina. Then, I skipped the cutscene that shows this, but in here, you also get 20 wake stones, and after you've done this a few times, these are worth 30k each, which means that every time you do this, just the wake stones by themselves are worth 600k, so it's quite a bit of money. And then you get a couple other drops. I got Heaven's Key. These are holy daggers that are real good, especially if you're an assassin. If you can do this as an assassin and then get those would make it crazy easy to farm this as an assassin as well, for those of you that want a really high attack stat whenever you're leveling. And obviously these are going to weigh me down a bit. Grab those, exit, and after you exit, unlike most of the enemies in the game, you can just go right back in and he'll show right back up, which makes this really fast. You don't have to go sleep for 4 days or anything like that. And also, it is worth noting, what was I going to say? Oh, right. It's worth noting that the weapon that I picked up is also worth roughly 400k. So it's about 1 million gold every time you do this. And also, I realize that I am like level 111. This is easily possible just with being like level 60. No problem. And you'll gain your levels incredibly fast when you do this. So we're going to head up to the shop. And if you're using the Sorcerer perk Suasion, you'll obviously get even a better price on these when you sell them. But I'm personally not very worried about that. So, Wake Stones, sell 21 of these. Oh, and you know what? I actually don't need Heaven's Key either, so 1 million gold. A nice 1 million. So, in terms of gear that I'm using, the important thing about the gear that I'm using is that I'm using Solar Providence. After you have beaten Grigori and go into like the post game of Dragon's Dogma, Solar Providence will be available from the Blacksmith and Grand Sorin, so you can just pick that up from him if you want it. It gives you quite a high amount of magic, definitely high enough to deal with the Dragon, the offline variant. And then other than that, none of these are particularly special. Just some like basic robes and such, and I think the Robe of Enlightenment might have even been like one of the pre-order things that I'm kind of just wearing because it looks cool. Wearing some Baleful Nails. These give me 20 more magic. Not really important. You could probably do this naked with just the Solar Providence, and you'd be perfectly fine. But now let's go and show my augments. So we'll just run over. I'll just run over to the other town and meet up with you there. Alright, so now we're in the encampment. You probably remember this area from the very beginning of the game. You can just run right over onto this guy, and this guy will let me show my build. Set skills. So, importantly, for those of you that like don't really care about actually like playing as the Sorcerer, the only ability you need is Holy Affinity. That's the only one that matters. All these other ones are just ones that I use personally whenever I play as the Sorc. But what is important is my build. So, I don't have the other magic enhancing augment that comes from the Mage, but that adds a very small amount, and that's what I would use to replace Regeneration if you do have that augment. But the important ones are Autonomy, Ferocity, well wait, no. Yeah, Ferocity, Acuity, Articulacy, this will make it so that you can cast your buff faster, and then Sinew, so you can carry all of the items and still be light. Sinew's more of a personal preference because I like to be able to run fast to catch up with her whenever I need to and do things like that. Obviously, I'm using Regeneration in place of that other augment that I don't have, which you have to get to rank 9 with a Mage, I think, to unlock it, which I just haven't done yet. But this gives me 20% extra strength and magic, period, which is amazing. Ferocity, this is 10% more damage on the focused bolts that I'm using. Acuity, this is extra magic damage. Articulacy, reduced time to cast things. All very good, increases your damage by a lot. Autonomy comes from the Assassin. Ferocity comes from the Warrior. Acuity and Articulacy both come from the Sorcerer. So you will definitely have access to at least these two. Yeah. And that's the basics of farming the Dragon for levels, and also money. As a Sorcerer, this is also totally possible, albeit a little bit slower as a Mystic Knight, and is potentially faster as an Assassin if you're using Liquid Vim. Maybe not earlier on, though. Once you get, like, Heaven's Keys, it definitely becomes much more possible. It just depends on your supply of Liquid Vim, because the unlimited stamina makes it your farming incredibly fast as an Assassin. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the guide. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.